But in the belly of that fish, he realized, I'm fighting something that I cannot win against. Am I ready now to stop fighting God and surrender? And the moment he prayed and confessed and was ready to do what God had called him to do, the fish spat him up on dry land. And from that moment, Jonah became the great prophet of God. Now, how does that fit a wicked and adulterous generation? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad has said that Allah, God, is calling on us to do a job not just for ourselves, but a job for humanity. The suffering that we have endured has given us a heart that once the vessel is cleaned and purified and the right word is put in us, we can bring the world up out of the madness that the world is in. But first, we have to be brought up out of it. Wait. So this is the verse I close with. It's in the 30th chapter of the Quran, called the Romans. And this section is titled, A Transformation. And it reads, quote, corruption has appeared in the land and the sea on account of that which men's hands have wrought, that he, Allah, may make them taste a part of what they have done, so that they may return. Isn't that beautiful? Corruption has appeared in the nation, on the land and the sea. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad talked about the corruption of the air, the land, the water, etc. And we are all victims of that corruption. In government today, corruption. Judges corrupt, businessmen corrupt, police corrupt, ministers corrupt, teachers corrupt, parents corrupt. There's a price to be paid for corruption. In our families right now, corruption is causing us to pay a price. In our families, there's argument, there's distrust, there's dissatisfaction, there's hurt, there's pain because of corruption. Now, when I close on this point, my sisters, you may become angry with me, but I'm going to say it regardless. You can get angry if you want to, but I have to speak truth. In the nature of things, there wouldn't have been a devil on our planet if a scientist had not learned how to separate the weaker germ, the brown germ, from the black. Well, that is symbolism, but yet it's deep. Because in the atom there must be control. It doesn't become destructive unless you split it. Men have been given by God authority over women. And the enemy, knowing that, broke the black man and freed the black woman from the control of a black man, and he became your controller. I want you to hear what I'm saying. from the time that we had no control over our women, the white man's control destroyed her, and she became the force of destruction for our nation. Sisters, when you go to the Genesis in the Bible, see, God didn't create the woman first. He created the man. This is no male supremacy talk. Then he created the woman and gave her to the man as a helpmeet. But he was under the direct authority of God. And she was to come under his authority. But a snake entered the picture. And the snake is always trying to destroy the natural controller and usurp the position of God. One of his attributes is the controller. He don't just put planets out there. He puts control on them by means of law. And as long as they submit to the law and come under control, they have perpetuity. That's why there's never been a teacher like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was not just a black man talking to black men about black things. He was trying to raise us up under the control of God, that we could once again get control of our woman. She don't like that kind of talk. Oh, nobody control me. But hell, girl, you are out of control. And because you are out of control, you sentencing the nation to death. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad made a speech in 1957 at Reverend Rawls' church, and his speech was the respect, protection, and control of the so-called Negro woman. That last word to a feminist is like throwing holy water on a vampire. But let me say it. In the Nation of Islam, under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that man, through the MGT class and the FOI class, returned a measure of control to the black man over the black woman. And she loved it. You know why she loved it? She loved it because we had submitted to the control of God. And that made it easier for her to submit to our control, because it really wasn't our control. It was God controlling our house. You go read your Bible. Christ, the head of man. Man, the head of woman. Woman, the head of children. Satan has busted up that order. So when you talk about a wicked and adulterous generation, brothers, when we start running around